The misfortunes of Edmund Muskie were one of the big surprises so far this election year. Today, Muskie initiated a surprise of his own. The scene was the National Press Club here in Washington. The crowd was large because of what they expected the senator from Maine to say, but he didn't say it. ABC's Frank Reynolds reports.
Muskie walked into a room filled with people expecting him to announce his endorsement of Senator McGovern. Early in his speech, however, it became apparent he had no such intention.
Party unity is not achieved with the magic wand of the kingmaker. No man can hand George McGovern a united party. For my part, I will continue as a candidate for my party's nomination.
With a completely straight face, Muskie later denied that he was part of a Stop McGovern movement.
I have no element of Stop McGovern. I have no negative objectives in view. I have no unrealistic hopes for myself. There are no blinders on me at all. And I understand the political risks I run in pursuing this uphill and long, short course. But there is still an obligation. I tried to articulate today, an obligation to let this convention work its will.
Senator McGovern was in New York City when he heard of Muskie's decision not to endorse him, and McGovern told reporters he felt that the decision was really the right one, that Muskie was paying a compliment to rank-and-file Democrats. Those Democrats, said McGovern, are going to make their judgment without relying on the big names. More on McGovern from ABC's Lem Tucker.
The large voting bloc at the Miami Democratic Convention will be the 278-member New York delegation. George McGovern took note of that fact this morning when he opened his New York campaign. He said the June 20th primary here may be the most important one. Then someone asked him about reports that large numbers of Democrats would desert the party if he is nominated.
I think once the nomination is made, that the party will be far more united than we were in 1968. I intend to do everything in my power in the next few weeks and beyond the National Convention to reconcile the party and to bring it back together. I have no doubt the party will be united when we go into the fall campaign.
Then he was off for the city's Garment District, a heavily Jewish area. There he tried to set straight his record on support of Israel.
If I were President of the United States, I would see that American aid and American equipment is made available in whatever level is necessary to guarantee that this one free and democratic state in the Middle East survives.
Next, into a restaurant where he ate chopped liver with a glass of milk, had Ed Muskie's speech relayed to him from Washington, and then, with no outward sign that his confidence was breaking, he talked about Muskie's move, or lack of a move.
I think probably the senator's judgment was the improper one. I had hoped that we would get Senator Muskie's endorsement today, yes. I had hoped that we would have it. But as I've said, he reached a decision to leave this up to the delegates, and I really can't argue with that. As an advocate of an open convention, as an advocate of party reform, I can't argue with the senator's decision. I want you to...
Earlier in the day, before Muskie spoke, McGovern had said he thought a McGovern-Muskie slate would be a superb ticket. What he thought after the speech was uncertain. Next, a stop in Harlem, where he met with a small group of black journalists. McGovern told them he didn't think he had all, or even most of the answers to solving the racial problems of America. But he said he'd do all he could to set the proper moral tone for the nation. So on the first official day of his New York campaign, George McGovern touched base with Jewish voters and with black voters, both groups whose support he must have if he's to win this state. Lem Tucker, ABC News, New York.